Hello, everybody. Relationship between China and America is just getting hotter and hotter. So recently, I think only 2 days ago, American government ordered the closing of the Chinese Consulate in Houston. To close down a consulate sounds like no big deal, but actually it's a big deal. First of all, a consulate is a kind of symbol for a nation. In this case, a symbol for China. And actually, inside the area of the consulate, this is treated as the territorium of China. So, closing it down. Why I say it's a big thing? Because it has never happened before. This is the first time since America established diplomatic relationship with the People's Republic of China. This almost 50 years now, 45 years or so, has never happened things like that. So this is the first time. Everything first time has a special impact for the future. Now, some people may wonder why they closed down Houston. Why not the consulate in New York? Why not consulate in Seattle or whatever? Well, there are many theories, but one of the theories I believe is true, and that is because of the pandemic. Every country, particularly America and China, are basically having a kind of race or competition in who will be the first one who find a vaccine. Because in the mind of CCP, if we find a vaccine first, then we can spread even more the virus to America and other countries, because we are safe. We don't sell vaccine to the damn American, This is, of course, their dream, in striving for the world hegemony. And America, to stop that, of course, they want to be the first one also to get a vaccine. And now, as long as I know, in Houston, you have a very advanced medical research center there. I think it's called Anderson Medical Research. And the information say they are very advanced in the research of finding vaccine against coronavirus. And they are probably already managed and now doing the final test. And I guess some Chinese spies managed to steal some secret there and hide themselves in the consulate. And that's why they closed the consulate so nobody can get out easily. If anyone get out, you see, as long as they are inside, American government have no right to go in and catch them. But if they come out, then it's no longer Chinese territory, then they can catch them. And that is why during this closing down time, they see a lot of smoke coming out. That is a clear sign that they are burning things. And what they burn? Of course, documents, paper. All this paper that can be used as evidence they have stolen. Maybe some people think, why don't they use this paper eliminator, document killer? Well, it's not safe enough. Burning is the safest one. You can never find any any evidence in the ashes. So that's one reason. Maybe second reason, which I also believe is quite true, and that is America is the only country who managed a special technology to drill oil. An oil drill that doesn't go straight only. It can turn to the left, to the right, and so on. And that make the production of oil and the finding of oil, or particularly the pumping up of oil, very efficient. And that's why America now has become the biggest, I think, oil producer. And this is why oil price is so low, because America, by this way, can produce a lot of relatively cheap oils. So, and that, of course, oil is important. And China would love to, CCP would love to have that technology. So that's another reason. But the reaction of America this time is really quick. Boom. Close it, and there is a speculation they have planned to close other consulate also. And anyway, it is quite clear that America is stepping up their measure to surround China, and you can also see the clear sign of the recent speech of particularly Pompeo. Yeah, I mean the other also like William Barr and FBI boss and so on. So to sum up all their speeches, the main message is, well, American government has made a mistake. The policy of engaging China since President Richard Nixon time was wrong, or is wrong.
Is already within our borders.
They hope China will, through the engagement of the West, step by step, will change to a more democratic country with more respect for human rights and more freedom for the Chinese people. All never materialized. Yeah? So basically they admit, which is also for me, is a sign of strength to admit mistake. Yeah? Like a human being, if you never admit your own mistake, you can never be the final winner. Yeah? And American government admit their mistake. CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, they never admit, never. Since they existed almost 100 years ago, they never admitted we have made a mistake. The party have made a mistake. Yeah? They only blame on some individual. That guy and that guy was bad guy and so on. But the party has always been, in Chinese they say, always 伟光正, great, glorious, and correct. Always. Yeah? They think this is great. They can tell all the Chinese people we are always great and glorious and correct, but actually they are cheating themselves. They will never progress in this way. They will never be the final winner. So this is my opinion. This is their strategic weakness. A person who can never admit his own mistake is a strategic weakness. So it's not a sign of strength, a sign of weakness. Remember that. Now, another thing, American government also corrected themselves, and namely Pompeo, being Secretary of State or Foreign Minister of America, he made a statement on the 20th of July by condemning the Chinese government and the CCP has been persecuting the spiritual movement Falungong, the meditation school Falungong. This is also a kind of indirect admitting the error because Falungong was persecuted already 21 years ago, and the Secretary of State of America, through all this time, I mean in the past 21 years, it was Clinton, it was Bush, it was Obama. None of them has really openly condemned it. Yeah? Well, they did not agree with the Chinese government human rights violation, but they never mentioned, they never directly condemning the persecution of Falun Gong. Now, this is the first time. This is also a sign of strength to correct oneself. Yeah? And they demand an immediate stop of this persecution. This is not a small thing. I tell you why. It cannot be a small thing because the Chinese Communist Party, 21 years ago, mobilized all sorts of power they have. Yeah? Police power, secret police power, soldier, military, and so on, and using all sorts of means to persecute Falun Gong, from putting them in jail, in labor camp, torture them, and even take the organs from them. Forced organ harvesting, in huge number. Yeah? So this is not a small thing, it's a big thing. And the whole world, because of this engagement policy towards China, America, European countries, and so on, were pretty silent in the case of Falun Gong. But now it changed. Yeah? Now it changed. Actually, German Foreign Ministry, the Human Rights Commissioner last year, in the 20th anniversary of persecution of Falun Gong, also made the official statement condemning the persecution, but not as strong as Pompeo. And Pompeo, if you like it or not, America is the leader of the free world. So when they start moving in that direction, then it's a clear direction for the march. So this is not a small thing. Things are happening more and more. Some people will say, well, America has only been doing sanctions. Well, some people believe that the sanction may not be so efficient, but it's not true. And also some people say, look, China is also making counter-sanction. But hey, what they do in counter-sanction is a joke. I give you an example. America sanctioned 4 top-ranking Chinese leaders, very top one. You know, Han Zheng, for example, one of the 7 members of the Standing Committee, very high up, one of the most powerful 7 men in China. Yeah? And then China also counter-sanctioned 4 American politicians. But hey, come on. To not allow Han Zheng and the other 3 Chinese high-ranking officials to come to America and that their properties, their wealth in America will be frozen, that is painful for them and for their family members. But not to allow Marcos Rubio, and the other 3 is no big deal. He's even happy not to need to go to China. And here probably not even $1 invested in China. So it's a joke, okay? So I think we should not underestimate. Why? Because America, I tell you, actually America doesn't want to make war either, yeah? But they are prepared for the worst. So they have sent a lot of warships now to South China Sea, yeah? But this is only in case. But I could see a very clear pattern that America is doing all sort of pressure to avoid a war. And their wish is, of course, CCP one day surrender, yeah? And that would be the best for the whole world. It would be peace again. And I think just to encourage you, since the sanction in the case of Hong Kong, you see Hong Kong protesters are still making their protests and demonstrations in Hong Kong, but the brutality of the police is much less now, because every policeman in Hong Kong now knows if just people get the evidence, which is not difficult because all the journalists are still shooting their footage and taking photo and so on. So many policemen can be identified. And at least the police boss will be sanctioned. And also the policemen. And all the way up. And I tell you, many Hong Kong officials have their money, investment, or properties in America. Yeah? And many of their children in America, and so on and so on. So they are scared. So I think, ladies and gentlemen, in this fight between, it's actually, I fully agree with Pompeo, it's not a fight between China and USA. So it is wrong to talk about you have to select side between China and USA. No. You have to select side between freedom and tyranny, democracy and totalitarianism, human dignity and atrocity. That's the choice. Everyone has to make. No one will, manage to escape from that choice. You and me, all of us, have to take side. Hopefully, most of us will take the right side. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. And also, please, if you would like to support us, click on the link to Patreon. Thank you. Bye-bye.